Kevin, what's the latest from Tesla?
Yeah, well, we're hearing of this production shutdown, which will have implications in the cash burn for the second quarter. Could be pretty intense, but we're sort of expecting that as well. They're in this ramp mode, need to get production and get some of those back orders filled. And I guess they're realizing that automotive manufacturing is difficult. Automating it is difficult, and that there is a reason why it's done the way it's done by manufacturers that have been doing it for 100 years.
Kevin, just listening to Elon Musk recently, it certainly gives you the impression that he's stepping away from fully automating the process of building these cars. Would we be reading between the lines correctly if that is kind of what we're thinking right now?
Yes, and I think, you know, for investors to sort of pull this back into that court, you would have to look at some of the things that the company's being valued on, right? This idea of automation, or this better way of building a vehicle as a competitive advantage, you know, is sort of playing out to not be the case. That the established automakers have been doing this a long time. They know the right way to do it, and there's a reason it's done the way it is. And for me, as an investor, I would be looking at some of the other things that are perceived to be competitive advantages of Tesla, whether it's the drivetrain technology, whether it's the lack of dealership and distribution, and really reassess those things, whether they're really advantages or not.
Kevin, should we be concerned about their ability to hit Mr. Musk's targets of getting production up to 2.5, then 5, and then continuing to increase it?
Should we be worried about it? No. Whether they do or they don't doesn't really matter at this point in terms of what he's promised versus what they achieve. I think what's important and what they need to do is to get that scale, ramp up that production, fill those back orders, and get some cash flow coming in. The consumers don't seem too worried, or the deposit those who have deposits don't seem too worried about when they're going to get them. It's just important that it eventually does work through that backlog.